I make myself a note here. I wanted to remind myself. Mention the strange language. Whenever I was a little kid, I'll tell you this, I promise I'll have it. When I was a little kid, there was a language, or an honest to goodness, strange language that circulated around Mama's porch. Whenever I was a little boy, my Mama's best friend, one of her best friends, and these little women, you know how little women do, or they'll look out for each other. We had a neighbor. Mama lived here, and we lived here, and then this sweet little woman named Addie Bell lived right here. And they were best of friends, and they would look out for each other. And Addie Bell would watch out for Mama, Mama would watch out for Addie Bell, and they would go back and forth. And Mama's sons would watch out for Addie Bell, and Addie Bell's son would come over and visit with Mama. Whenever I was a little boy, Addie Bell had a son named Houston, and I don't know. Addie Bell wasn't from here. I don't know where she'd originally come from, but she wasn't from here. I don't know if it was somewhere in Europe and I've asked, and other people don't know. But everybody loved Addie Bell. She was just one of the sweetest people in our community. And there was a phrase that my daddy could say that I learned, and it took me 30 years to learn how to say it. There was a story about Addie Bell, and there was a man the people in the story were, Addie Bell had a dog named Newt. She had her son Houston, and a man named Charlie Ford. Now, Houston, like Daddy and Papaw and Ooze and a lot of the folks around where we live back then were bad to drink. And Addie Bell's son Houston had gone off to drink with a man named Charlie Ford. He'd been gone for a few days, nobody could find him. Addie Bell was convinced. Now, you know, sometimes people let their imagination get the best of them. Addie Bell was convinced that Charlie Ford had killed him. So Addie Bell was in her house one day, and you know, our house is right in the middle of this. It's the greatest place in the world to grow up. Our house is right in the middle of this. And so Addie Bell sees Charlie Ford walking up the road. Remember, Addie Bell's dog's name is Newt. So Addie Bell comes to the door and she's yelling, and she said, "Hissel, Newt, and Hissel, eat and cog and Ford and kill my hoosel." Now, that means, I told you, it's a whole other language. That means, Hissy, Newt, Hissy, the dog, eat up Charlie Ford, he killed my Houston. She was convinced, Addie Bell was convinced, our neighbor was convinced that Charlie Ford had killed Houston for his money, and that Houston was somewhere laying. And it was simply, Charlie was just simply a mother that was concerned about her son. But I heard that story, and I wanted so bad to learn how to say that. I wanted, as a little boy, I thought, man, that is so neat. I want to learn how to speak that. So I learned that one phrase, "Hissel, Newt, and Hissel, we can cog before kill my hoosel." And that was all I ever learned. To this day, this lives on. To this day, if we go to Food City or Walmart or wherever and we see Mexican people or somebody speaking Spanish in Walmart, Candy will say, "Hissel, Hissel, Hissel." And Candy wants me to say that, "Hissel, Newt, and Hissel, cog before kill my hoosel." And because she wants other people to know what it's like to hear a phrase and nobody knows what it means but just a few people. So